Welcome back to the Metalworks. It's another very cold one. The snow's back and it's back to sub-zero in here. Well, I don't know sub-zero, but very close. This came in the PO box this morning. I don't know what it is. It's an item. Oh, some little mini mag holders. I've got some big ones of these, but the little ones will be very helpful for my stuff because I always find that my big ones are too big. Spicy thought these might be useful. Matt Steam 12 is that? Thank you, Matt. That's really, really kind of you. And yes, that is very helpful. As I say, my ones. Where are my ones? Yeah, these things. They're bloody massive. And they just get in the way normally. Awesome, thank you, Matt. Where are we? This is episode 23 of the Metalworks. 23 already, can you believe it? Thank you very much for everyone who's been watching and supporting me. If you would like to share these videos with some people that you know who might enjoy them, that would be great because growing this channel would be, you know, a really nice thing to do. Especially on the back of doing something more creative like this. Not that motovlogging isn't creative. Oh my god, I'm so cold. Anyway, so where were we? The tail is on and welded. We saw that in the last episode. And then what I did was I cleaned up the eyes with a wire brush. So they're sort of a duller bronze-y colour. And then I've actually super glued those on. I cleaned everything up with acetone. These push on anyway with a lot of force because that's what they're designed to do. So once I filled that up with some Gorilla Glue and then just hammered them on so they're like on there and then let it set, I don't see those ever coming off. Had a bit of a confusion as to what to do with these because if you notice they're not in the same place, which is fine, I don't mind that, you know, because it's a different size, but it was like, do I line the rings up with those notches or do I line them up front and back? And I was like, no, it'd like kind of look like one was looking one way and one was looking the other way, a bit like a chameleon. Or if you actually look at dragonfly when it's sat, they sort of tilt their heads left and right sometimes as they're looking at things and you can see stuff change in their eyes. It's mad. So today's a bit of a different day because basically I've got to turn these 4 70cm long pieces of 6mm thick mild steel rod into these wings. I've measured them, I've got extra so I can have a start and a finish and get all the way around and do this. I thought this one would be massively bigger, but as it turns out it's really not. The little bit of length lost is gained back through the thickness, but it's not more. Oh, and I finished up the neck. I've just cleaned up a few of the bobbles off and smoothed down a few bits. I'll do a little bit of smoothing, more sort of wire wheeling on it to smooth it out, but it will generally stay like that because it kind of fits in. And if you look at Dragonfly in the pictures, they do have this kind of, I think it looks cool. Oh, well, the mesh has arrived. I don't know if I've shown you this. This is the mesh that will be going in between the wings. This is a bit of a lucky one actually because the eBay seller was selling this as 300 by 400mm in brackets A3, and I knew my plans were A4 and was like, okay, it's fine because A3 is double A4, so here's my 2 A4s, and yeah, it's a bit short, and as it turns out A3 is 297mm by 420, not 300 by 400, so they're just contradicting themselves in their sizes on their own listing. I don't know, it won't make any great difference. Let's call it 2 centimeters. First bend I'm going to have to kind of tweak this way just a little bit and then I can start doing the curves. Basically I know this is my starting point, it's like here with this mark, so I know the bend where it should, that's about the apex of the next bend. It's got to come down. Let's bend the opposite direction of that at this point here. And we also want to try and keep this flat, although we can get some of that out later. So we're roughly at the right angle, we can tweak that. The inward dent is here, so we know we need to bring down this end to this line, and that's got to happen here. Starts about right, that's about right, that's about right. Now we need to start bringing it from around here up to this mark, I need to be getting a start of a curve here, and it's going to get tighter and tighter towards the end. Now this end piece, where I practiced on this one, that curve was a lot more difficult to do because you can't do that on the bender, and without a piece of pipe that's the same dimension as that hole at the end, I ended up using like the vise and just go bending a little bit and a little bit and a little bit and bending it over and bending it over. Just thinking, I think this is more than just a spacer. I think this also does tighten the curves. So let's try coming around this way. Yeah. Okay, update. It's actually now day 2. Yesterday I was stopped working so many times that I just, in the end, basically gave up. So I only got one wing done, and I didn't get all of it recorded, but I did get one wing done. It's not exactly to shape. There is, I need to sort out some of these curves, smooth them a little bit and stuff, but basically the shape is there. I've made a pin, which I've taken a little nick out of the end. So I've got flat spots on it. That's so this can go between here. That gives me a bit of thickness for the beginning of the wing, and it also gives me, because I'm going to weld this, it also gives me a method of attaching. I don't know if I'm going to use this or if I'm going to do something different, but it gives me something that I can use to weld with. So I got one wing done. This is a lot harder than it looks. I really wished I was able to really get into it and learn, like I was trying to yesterday, but it being stopped every, for half an hour, it just really threw me, so I didn't get a lot done. So today, I'm going to try and get the other wing done, and maybe weld them together. Now the thing is, a lot of this is very repetitive. It's just me bending this, moving this backwards and forwards. So I'm going to set the camera up, and I'm probably going to time-lapse most of it, because there isn't a lot to tell you. I don't know, I'm not very good at this. This is more me just working stuff out. Maybe I'll learn a few things along the way. Okay, that was a lot harder than it looks. There is two here, as you can see. They spring apart a little bit. They're not absolutely identical to each other, but they're very close, and they've got the general shape I'm after. Because I've basically got one correct, then matched the other one to that one and did a bit of fettling, it's a little different from the design, but the general sort of look is there. There's a lot of artistic license here. I'm being way too fussy. This is the thing. I probably could have done this a lot faster if I'd stopped being so fussy. They match. That's the important thing. Then I've got matching pins, which I showed you earlier on. So what I'm now going to do is I'm probably going to play with this end just a little bit more, just to try and get it a bit closer to the other one, and then weld the pins in, and that'll be these ones, well, the outer part's done anyway, and then we've got to move on to doing these ones. However, these look a little bit easy, maybe or not, because there's a straight and that's a long sweepy curve to come around here. But, oh well. I'm going to play with these ends a little bit more and try and get them closer, and then you'll be back with me when I start to weld them together. Okay, so a lot more fiddling, but now we're at the point to weld in the pin. I've, as I mentioned before, I've ground the flats even flatter and wider, so it really locks in there and sits in just about the right location. I'm going to put a beader weld along there to attach those two, then that one to that one. Probably put a bit over it because I will be smoothing this into one more continuous piece, because I want that to look like, more like a wing connection than bits of rod, you know what I'm saying. do the other side before I really strengthen it up, because otherwise it'll pull too hard to one side. Because you have to always remember that however you weld something, it will always pull back. Oh, earth. Now I can take this off the wood, finish the weld without setting fire to everything as I'm going. You have to be careful because that piece of wood could smoulder away for hours and then burst in flames. So yeah, beware of that. I think the best way of cleaning that up is going to be angle grinder and die grinder. Angle grinder to smooth it out generally, and then the die grinder just gets to the inside edges. But I'm going to weld the other one up because this needs to cool down anyway. Yes, I did just hammer a screw in. Oh. I would have said I need a little bit more wire speed, but I'm liking the heat the way it's pulling because it's really smoothing stuff off. Just give that a quick clean up on the wire wheel. Right, so now it's time to get the angle grinder out and just smooth all this off. Unfortunately, where I don't have my swivel vise at the moment, that's a whole story of itself that'll become its whole video on this channel because it's got to the point it's actually a funny story now. I'm going to have to sort that out very soon. But anyway, what it means I can't turn this sideways, which is a bit annoying for you, angle-wise, but sorry, please forgive. So I'm leaving a good amount there just to form a bit. I've got to run the drum Dremel sander through here just to smooth this out. Right, well, much sanding, grinding, fiddling, twiddling, and God knows what later. We have two pretty similar wings, all welded up, smoothed out. They don't need to be much cleaner than this, in my opinion, because, you know, it's going to fit with the look. We've got two more to make, and then we've got to put the sheet in, which will require cutting each sheet perfectly and welding that in. I hope that goes okay. Same for the rear wings. Then we've got to make the legs, then attach it all. Forget these pins, these are going to be coming off quite low down, but I still haven't decided the attaching methods. As you can see, this thing is going to be pretty epic when it's done. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with friends, and if you feel like supporting this channel, there's many ways to do that, links in the description. Everything from, you know, key tags, t-shirts and hoodies, all the way to the PayPal where you can just send me a couple of quid and it goes straight in the pot to help me make more videos. So thank you very much for watching, catch you next time.